Okay, class, today we're learning about l'impératif plus les pronoms. Before we start the lesson, make sure that you have completed all the homework assigned for this grammar rule as well as for pronouns. Rappelle l'impératif. Quand utilise-t-on l'impératif? When do we use impératif? So take a moment now and try to remember the different cases where we use this grammar rule. Deuxième, quelle personne utilise l'impératif? Try to remember the 3 subject pronouns that use impératif. So pause the video and try to write that down on your fill in the blank. La réponse est une instruction, une ordre, une demande et la politesse. Quelle personne utilise l'impératif? Tu, nous et vous. Les règles de l'impératif. So for regular ER, IR, and RE verbs, I would strongly advise you to go back to your notes and review regular present tense, ER, IR, and RE verbs. Luckily, you just need to know the rules for tu, nous, and vous for impératif, regular. So the rules basically stay the exact same for present tense regular verbs, except for ER verbs. For tu, you take the S off. Okay, so right now, try to fill in the blanks on your sheet and write down the correct grammar endings for ER, IR, and RE verbs. Okay, next we have the exceptions, which you learned last time for the impératif lesson. So take a moment now and try to fill in this chart. Pause the video and try to remember what avoir, être, savoir, and vouloir are for tu, nous, and vous. Okay, here are the answers. Avoir is to have, être is to be, savoir is to know, and vouloir is to want. Okay, if you're talking to someone and you're using the verb avoir in impératif, giving an order or an instruction, you would say aille. For the nous form, you would say ayons. For the vous form, you would say ayez. For être, you would say sois, if you're talking to just one person. Soyons, if you're talking in a group and you're saying let's be something. Soyez is for if you're talking to a group of people, more than one person. Savoir is to know. So if you're telling somebody to know something, you would say sache. As a group, you say sachons. And then to a group of people, more than one person, you would say sachez. Okay, for tu, you would say veille. There's no new form here. And then for vous, it's veuillez. Okay, so a little bit reminder about pronouns. Que font les pronoms? Par exemple, j'aime la robe. You basically replace an object with le, la, or les for direct pronouns, so it would become je l'aime. There are other pronouns as well. You have le, la, les, lui, leur, on, and i. So le, la, les are direct pronouns. Basically, you use them to replace an object after the verb if there's no preposition. If you do see a preposition there, like à, sur, su, devant, à côté, any single preposition here, du, de, la, de, or any quantity indication, you know that you're either using lui, leur, or on, or i. Lui, leur is used to replace him or her. Leur is for them. En is used to replace anything that follows du, de, la, de that indicates quality. It could also be a number like deux, trois, quatre, assez, peu, beaucoup, trop, anything that indicates quantity, use en to replace. And then any location, you use y. Or if it's a plus an object. You would use Y to replace the object. Comment utiliser l'impératif avec les pronoms? Où mettre le pronom? So try to guess the rule. Devine la règle ici pour l'impératif affirmatif. So when you're using imperative plus a pronoun, what do you guys think about the rule for the affirmative versus the negative? Take a guess. Where would you put the pronoun if you're giving a command in affirmative versus giving a command in negative? So take a moment, pause the video, and try to guess the rule here, and then we'll go through some examples. Okay, numéro 1. Comment on dit go there? How would you say go there? Now you're combining impératif with a pronoun. The answer is vas-y. Okay, number 2, how would you say do it to a group of people? Comment on dit do it? Okay, try to guess the answer. Pause the video. La réponse est faites-en. Comment on dit call them for nous? Okay, them you need to replace with leur. Call is appel. So put it together. The answer is téléphonons-leur. Okay, so devine la règle. You're going to guess the rule again after seeing those 3 examples. What did you notice about those 3 examples? The rule is the pronoun goes after the verb with a hyphen. Le pronom va après le verbe avec un trait d'union. Okay, so we saw the examples vas-y, faites-en, et téléphonons-leur. Okay, and now we're going to talk about the negative version of that. And the rule for negative is that the pronoun goes actually in front of the verb. So try, keeping that rule in mind, try to guess how to say don't go there. The answer is n'y va pas. Okay, on your sheet, now that you know the rule for negative, try to write down the answer underneath the box that says don't do it. La réponse est n'en faites pas. Okay, et numéro 3, comment on dit don't call them? La réponse est ne leur téléphonons pas. Okay, so this is a summary of, in general, using imperative plus pronouns. If it's an affirmative, the pronoun goes after the verb and then you hyphenate. And then if it's negative, the pronoun goes back in front of the verb and you don't hyphenate for that one. Okay, let's talk about the S rule. This is probably the most complicated point about imperative plus pronouns. Basically, if you use, in general, you have to remove the S with any ER imperative. But if you see en and e as a pronoun, then you have to put the S back. And then when it's a negative, the S disappears again. Okay, so if you're saying go to the office, you would say go there, vas-y. Okay, so you put the S back. If you're putting that in negative, the S goes away. N'y va pas. Okay, so since there's an en here, you re-add the S. Cherche en. But in negative, the S disappears again. N'en cherche pas. Okay, so we're going to try some examples together, and you're going to write it down on your fill in the blank, and then we'll take it up. So, mange de la salade. So this is for you're talking to a person. How would you say it in affirmative versus negative? Try it. So you're giving an order, and then you're replacing de la salade with en because it's some salad quantity. Okay, so in affirmative, you're talking to Matthew.